in age beyond living memory. A devil's shade cast upon our land. Plunging it into the deepest darkness. And condemning us to grief without end. In vain we prayed to the bleak heavens. The 12 gods descended from above. To lead the charge against the great evil. Evoking holy light, the gods smote the demon. And granted us our lost hope once more. We and our world were thus reborn. And so, as time flows endlessly on, our nightmare has veered into legend. Here we are, Fire Emblem, Genealogy of the Holy War. This will be the next game I play, and it is something, alright. I needed to take a little break between Persona 1 and this game to fully prepare myself for this, because I know this is gonna be something, alright? So yeah, this game. This game is considered one of the greatest in the series. The main reason is because of how different it is from the rest, as well as some of the cool things that this game does that other games don't. It's also what's considered Kaga's masterpiece, but yeah. This game definitely has a lot of things it can be called, because yeah, there's just so much about it. And yeah, it's quite an infamous game in the series because of that too, so yeah. And yeah, I'm finally playing it now. And yeah, a lot of interesting things have happened. The next Fire Emblem game turns out it's not a remake of this game, it's gonna be an entirely new game, although it does have Suga in there, so that's pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of things about this game that are quite epic, so you know what, let's just go in. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna need to erase this. That was my first file, I think, because I need 2 save files basically. So let's go. No. New game is what we need. So here's the Juke Chronology. It's quite a lot actually. This game probably has some of the deepest world building in the series. And yeah, this is something that would continue in some other Kaga projects, like Tyrion Saga for example. That game also has a ton of world building too. And here we are. We're basically around 7th anyway. At the heart of the continent of Jupiter lies Granville, a kingdom founded by Saint Haim of the 12 Crusaders. I should mention this too, there's gonna be some name differences because this is the Project Naka fan translation. This fan translation was built before a lot of these names were changed. In Heroes, for example, so yeah. Supporting the royal family, the heirs of Haim are 6 noble houses. And yeah, just to make things a bit easier on myself, I'm gonna be referring to the names in this fan translation because A, I'm used to them, and B, it'll be very confusing if I start using different names. So here we are. Each also descend from a crusader of old. The 6 states, while still subservient to the royal family, each occupy vast swaths of Granville's land and maintain mighty militaries of their own. Owing to King Asma's advanced age, the governance of Granville falls to his son, the highly respected Prince Kurf. Kurf has 2 trusted advisors in his rule. Lord Byron of House Chelfie, and Lord Ring of House Jungbi. Granville's Chancellor, Lord Rector of Friege, has long objected to the threat to his influence posed by Kurth and his advisors, and has allied himself with the can't say that word, Lord Langbolt of House Dozel to form a faction opposed to Kurth's rule over Granville. The young Duke of House Veltoma, Lord Arvis, leads the Royal Guard in the King's care, and so has little time for the circus of politics. Only Father Claude of House Eda, not the single by the way, could foresee the oncoming storm. In the midst of this tense situation comes Dionysus from Jugdrol's east. Dana, a town in the Yi Desert with deep ties to Granville, is now besieged by savage warriors from Isaac. Reports of a brutal massacre abound. The news is met by the people of Granville with furious cries for retribution, and before long the kingdom declares war on Isaac. Prince Kurth leads Granville's charge on his father's behalf, commanding the military might of the kingdom's 6 houses. At Kurth's side, as always, is none other than Lord Byron, a highly decorated hero of peerless valor in his own right. Granville has poured its entire military might into the Isaac campaign, and precious few soldiers remain behind, with its neighbours, Augustia to the west, and Verdane to the south, bound in alliance with Granville. None dared to dream they could ever be friends. It is not long at all, however, before the people's confidence is shattered. As if from nowhere, a vast horde from Verdane, led by Prince Gandalf, crosses the Granville border and lays siege to Jungbi Castle. In Lord Ring's absence, his daughter, Lady Adine, is Jungbi's only guardian. Lord Byron is entrusted the defence of Granville in his absence to his son, Sigurd, who remains at Chalfie Castle with a mere handful of soldiers. A friend of Adine since childhood, Sigurd is horrified to hear of the Jungbi siege, and even with so few soldiers is determined to protect Adine and his fatherland from the savage Verdunite hordes. The year is 757 Grand Calendar, and thus the threshold of fate is cast upon. Nobody could have known then that this simple disturbance was but the first of countless calamities to come. Alright, let's do it. Prologue, Birth of a Crusader. Also, I should mention this, because of how unique this game is chapter structure-wise, I'm actually going to be doing this in parts and not chapters, like I did for my other Fire Emblem playthroughs. Because I thought that would be a bit easier on myself, anyway. So yeah, something's happening here. Milady, the castle is completely surrounded. We failed you. We couldn't do a thing to save you from them. It's alright, my dear. Every one of you did the best you could. Please, you needn't worry about me. You must ensure that as many of you survive this as possible. No, milady, we might not stand a chance. The very last one of us will give our lives to protect you, right to the very end. Thank you, my dear. I'm sorry. And here we are at Chalfie. Gandalf's army already has Jungbi surrounded. Idina is in grave danger. Noish, I'm going to help her. I'm leaving Chalfie in your hands. Hold, my lord. Surely you don't intend to go alone. Nearly all of our forces are already on the march to Isaac with father. There's hardly anybody left to call upon. They may be simple savages, but Verdane's army is still huge. I can't risk your lives by forcing you to face them. Perish the thought, my lord. I was born a knight, and I'll gladly risk dying a knight's death in your name. To allow a lord to die alone in battle would be an unspeakable disgrace. We shall be by your side, every step of the way. Alec, I trust you're of the same mind. Yeah, of course. But there's more than just Jungbi at stake. We gotta stop by the nearby villages first. Those thugs will try to beat us to them, and they'll loot, massacre, and burn them all down if they do. We've gotta get there first, and lend the locals a hand at locking the villagers down and fortifying the defenses. Absolutely. We mustn't neglect our knightly duties to the people, especially not at a time like this. Good point, Alec. Actually, that was all Orphe's idea. That kid's every bit the tactician that he says he is. Give him a few years and he'll be a match for his old grandpa, Lord Seer. Orphe's still around the castle, huh? Orphe, I know you're here. You can come out now. My apologies for still being here, sire. Still, if you would allow it, I'd like you to join in battle. I can't just sit back while you risk your lives. I don't know. You're still so young. Are you sure you're ready for this? I'm already 14, sir. That's a bit young, but anyway. I may not be battle ready just yet, but there's still so much I can do to support you. Please allow me to accompany you. I swear I won't let you down. Fair enough, Orphe. After all, we've already spent 2 years training as my squire. Real battlefield experience would be fantastic for your train, but you're still definitely not up to actual combat duty for now. How about you ride with me as my advisor instead? Yes, thank you, sir, thank you. So yeah, that's something else too. You probably already know that Sigurd is something, right? But he's also carrying around Orphe too while he's doing all that, so yeah. What a mad indeed. But yeah, my lord, ward the defense of Chalfie itself in our absence. Leaving the castle unattended is risky. Should the enemy slip past us, an unguarded castle fall easily and spell us a swift death. This is actually a gameplay mechanic. If the enemy reaches your base castle, it's game over. So, but yeah, there's some workaround that they're gonna go into here. Noise, I said there's only one man who could depend on for that, eh, Arden? Hold on a minute, why me, Alec? Sturdy as a brick wall, strong as an ox, slow as a turtle. Face it, Arden, you're born for guard duty. Haha. I'm strong and tough, I know, but you really don't need to call me slow. He has a point, Arden. Would you? You're the most apt at guard duty. Fine, I'll do it. But you have to bring me with you at least once. I don't want to be left out of the action. Right, men, it's time to set out. Let's stop by assistant villagers, and then it's onward to Jumpy. And here we are. So, oh yeah, I should mention something else too about this game. I think this game has my favorite soundtrack in the series, but anyway. So, let's go for options. So you have, animations, we'll turn them on. Terrain window, we'll turn on. Unit window, yeah, we want that. Text speed, I'll put it up to 4, I think. Just in if I skip it though by accident, well, no. Enemy speed, let's put it on fast. Stereo, yeah, we'll keep that. Autosave, we do want that. I'm gonna put it in file too. Yeah, basically at the start of every turn, you'll get the option to save. This game's actually really generous because of that, but auto cursor off, I think. For this game it's probably better. And then this. If you beat the game for the first time, you can change the AI to clever. I have no idea what this does, but I'm gonna keep it on normal. And there we go. And also at the start of every turn, you can save your game. Like this. You don't have to use your autosave. And yeah, let me double check my settings again. I wanted to autosave in file 2, and yeah, that's okay. So, we've done the settings. I guess we can go over other menus too. We have the unit menu, which shows off all your units. This is the personal data screen is going to be the one I use the most in this game because it's kind of important. The rest are alright. They're mainly like other unit information, but we can look at our units to do that. We have items. It shows us all our items. Status. So yeah, this shows you your turn count, your next objective, the enemy strength, all that. Then you got skills. Interestingly, you actually can just look at all the skills in the game right here and here. But I'm going to be going over the skills as we see them, I guess. Then we already did options, save, and then end turn, end turn. So yeah, let's talk about units now. Let's start with Sigurd. So there's a few things we need to talk about first. So Sigurd. Also, yeah, this is actually the first Fire Emblem game I've played that has a skill system, so I need to go over that as well. So let's go over some basic stats. So yeah, Sigurd is a level. The higher level, every time you level up, you gain some stats. Simple as that. And yeah, there's some basic growth rates, which again I'll be going over. So yeah, you have his stats, his HP, strength, magic, skill, speed, luck, defense, and resistance. I believe it works pretty much similarly to other Fire Emblem games. Like HP, if it falls to 0, the unit dies. Strength is your damage of physical weapons. Magic is your damage of magical weapons. Skill is affects hit rate and also skill activation for a lot of skills. Speed actually doesn't determine how much you double it, on its own at least, because yeah, it normally just works on the void and also calculates your AS. But here's the thing about this game, it has to do with that skill down there. You can't actually double naturally, so we'll have to go over that in a bit. And at luck, I think it's similar, like, I think it does affect Crit Void. It might also affect some other things too. I actually can't remember what luck does specifically in this game. And then you got your defense and res. Defense is your resistance to physical attacks, and your res is your resistance to magical attacks. Then we got other things too in the personal data. Authority. So yeah, basically the leader of the army has an authority stat. And I believe for each star it's 5 avoid? 5 hit and avoid, so yeah. And Sigurd gets that all the time, and I believe units who fight near Sigurd also get it too, so it's very advised to take advantage of that. Lover, yeah, this game has 2 generations basically, and yeah, the lover, yeah, it's kind of important for that. Talk, basically at certain points on the map, you'll get... Some characters will like to have a chat. This is mainly where, like... It's kind of like the replacement to the support system in this game, actually. Support convos, I should be saying. So I will be trying to show off as many of those as possible. Movement, yeah, that's a stat. A lot of horse units have high movement, which is kind of important in this game, but anyway. Funds, that's actually kind of a big deal in this game. Each unit has some money. You don't have a collective gold amount. That's kind of a big deal to another game mechanic, mainly the fact that weapons cannot be traded. So you need to, I imagine it's kind of a big deal in this game as a result. Arena level, there's no arena in this chapter, so you won't worry about that. And then condition, actually, oh yeah, that's probably for status ailments. Because yeah, there's like sleep in this game, silence, all that good stuff. Anyway, and we have a skill here. I'll go over that when we talk about Sigurd. So Sigurd, I don't really need to say much about him other than the fact that he's really good. The main reason why is because A, he has a lot of movement, and also he's the Lord. And that's kind of a big deal because basically you need a Lord to seize a castle. And seizing a castle is how you basically progress the map. So basically the map progresses at Sigurd's speed. So it's important that Sigurd is strong, so you're able to clear maps quicker and also get to objectives quicker. So he's very crucial for basically going through maps. His class is a Night Lord. It's basically like the Paladin class, but it's exclusive to Sigurd. I don't remember if there's any other like very good perks about it, other than the fact that it's Sigurd's personal class and it's kind of like the Paladin class. But yeah, it does mean it has a lot of movement, 9 movement. It might have 1 more movement, I can't remember if it does or not, but yeah, Sigurd does have a lot of movement, which is important for his role. His base stats are really good. He's able to deal lots of damage to these enemies, because yeah, even though enemy stats are kind of low, they have a lot more HP than they usually do in the early games of the front game. We'll see if I find bandits again. Anyway, another mechanical Sigurd is if you press the A button, you can see Holy Blood. Yep, there's 12, I believe it's 12. Different types of Holy Blood. Sigurd here has the bolder Major Holy Blood, because yeah, you can have Minor and Major Holy Blood. Major means that you can use the Holy Weapon of the of that Holy Blood, and also means that you get a star rank in that weapon rank. That's another thing too about this game. Weapon ranks are fixed. You cannot raise them unless you promote. So yeah, Sigurd's gonna be stuck with B lances and star swords, which for this game you can just treat it as S rank basically. It's basically the same thing. But yeah, Sigurd can use any sword, and actually with B lances he's able to use a decent amount of lances, like brave lances and javelins for example. So yeah, that's really good. And yeah, some things about Holy Blood. Not only does it allow you to use the Holy Weapon if you have Major, but even if you have Minor Holy Blood, you're able to get a growth boost, which is very nice. And it's kind of a big deal for inheritance, which yeah, we'll go over later. So Yeah, now let's go over Sigurd's growth rates. So in this game, growth rates are kind of low, especially for characters who don't have Holy Blood. So let's go over that. Sigurd has 70 HP, 30 strength, 5 magic, 30 skill, 30 speed, 20 luck, 40 defense, and 5 resistance. So yeah, not amazing sounding growth rates, but actually really good. Although I believe that's actually before counting his Holy Blood, now that I think about it. So now if we add the Holy Blood, it becomes 110 HP, 50 strength, 5 magic, 50 skill, 30 speed, 40 luck, 40 defense, and 5 magic defense. So yeah, actually his growth rates are pretty good. Because he's always going to get HP, his strength is actually pretty good, 50 is quite a lot, so he's going to be hitting really hard. He should be able to get to his cap quite quickly. Annoyingly in this game, it's kind of hard to tell if your stat is capped without looking it up, because the game doesn't like have a different... It doesn't color the number in differently, so you kind of just have to figure it out on your own. But yeah, for now, I'm going to be assuming that I'm going to be including the Holy Blood when I do the growth calculations. So yeah. Sigurd, I can't really say much more than he's very important. We're going to be needing him a lot in this map, as you would probably expect. In fact, the whole game. Because high movement. Anyway, let's go over the Christmas cards now. Now, people kind of sleep on these dudes, mainly because they aren't super special, but they're not terrible units. It's mainly because they have high movement, and they can fight decently well. They're definitely not a one-man army like Sigurd kind of is, but they're still pretty decent. Let's go over Noish first. Oh yeah, before that though, let's go over Sigurd's skills. I can't forget that. Here's Pursue. Now, personal skill though. That basically means that... So basically, a skill can either be a class skill or a personal skill. If it's a personal skill, that means it can be passed down. If it's a class skill, it can't be passed down. That's something very important to remember. But anyway. So Pursue allows the user to double attack if attack speed exceeds foes. Yep, sounds familiar? That's how you double. So yeah, you need a skill to double in this game, which sounds annoying, but really it's not that bad, especially in the second generation, which I'll show. But it does hurt Noish because as you see there, he doesn't even have it, but he does have a cost, which might give him more turns. But yeah, it's definitely not as good as Pursue. But anyway, so Noish, he's very similar to most red cabs, high strength, lower skill and speed. And his weapon rank stuff, fine. Beast swords isn't bad because I believe that allows you to use the Brave Sword, which is quite a big deal in this game. And his skills, they're not terrible. He gets critical, so... I should go with the skills. So yeah, it allows the user to perform critical hits with the critical rate, which is skill plus the weapon's kill bonus. That's actually another mechanic in this game too. That star over there is how many kills the weapon has. And if it gets to... And in Noish's case actually. So I should mention that too. If a weapon gets 50 kills, it starts critting. But in Noish's case, since he already has critical, the weapon kill bonus adds to his crit rate basically, so that's pretty cool. No matter what it is, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, and his other skill is the very complicated one, a cost. If agile, user may continue around the battle. This one is kind of weird. Basically, you can activate 2 to 20 rounds of combat when HP is above or equal to 25. That is a lot of turns, but yeah, it's very rare that you get more than 5, according to what I'm reading here. But yeah, the chance of this activating is your attack speed minus the enemies plus HP divided by 2. So yeah, this is kind of a weird skill, but basically it gives you more rounds of combat. Sometimes. Doesn't always. So yeah, very, very weird skill indeed. But you need to have high HP to make use of it, so yeah, that's I guess something else too. I like this skill much better in Frasier because it's a lot easier to calculate in that game. And also Tearing Soccer. This actually becomes an activatable skill, which is actually really cool. You just choose to activate it, which is great. But in this game, it happens whenever it activates, so yeah. So Noish, he's not a terrible unit. He's definitely not amazing or anything, but he'll get the job done just fine. As long as, you know, you don't neglect him or anything, which a lot of people do, because he doesn't seem that special, but I think he does have some potential. The other unit is Alec. Alec actually does have Pursuit, but he also has another skill in Nihil. This skill works a bit differently to what it does in Telios, which is where we'll group it. In that game, it basically makes that all skills switch off, but in this game, all it does is it stops, all it does in this game is stops critical hits, the sword skills, which if I go into my skill list, the sword skills are Luna, Soul, and Astral, as it says there. And yeah, Nihil stops all of them. And it also stops affected damage, because in this game, affected damage is an auto-crit basically. So yeah, because it stops critical hits, then there you go. This is a very nice skill actually. It means that Alec is actually not weak to horses, although he's not super strong, so it's not like a big deal or anything, but yeah. His weapon ranks are fine, he starts a Pursuit, which is good, but the issue is that he's kind of weak, strength-wise, so yeah. So yeah, he might have trouble one-rounding. He doesn't one-round like Alec or Noish even, so yeah. But yeah, again, he's decent. Because he's still a horse, he can still use swords, which are the best weapon type in the game. And he's not too bad in these maps too. He's also a good candidate for the speed ring in this map actually, in my opinion too, because it makes him faster, it makes him harder to kill, because he has more avoid, and yeah, he doubles more frequently too, which is quite nice. Anyway, he's the green cav. Green cavs generally focus on speed and skill, which Alec here does. He has 70% HP, 30 strength, 5 magic, 40 skill, 30 speed, 30 luck, 30 defense, and 5 resistance. Which, it's better than Noish in skill and speed, but not by much. But then again, this game is a low growth rates game, at least in the first generation, so yeah. So that's Alec. I will be using him a little bit too. I'm basically going to be using everyone, because you have to use everyone. I mean, you don't have to, but you are able to deploy everyone every map, so yeah. I'm at least going to get some good use out of these two, even though, yeah, most people can't neglect them because they're not super interesting. But yeah. And here's our last unit, and talk about for now, Arden. So Arden is a meme, but he's not good, but yeah, he could be a very fun unit. He is an armor knight. The problem though is 5 movement. And look how big this map is. Yeah, with 5 movement, you're going to take forever to actually do anything. So yeah, Arden rarely sees combat, which is kind of sad, because actually, he's not terrible in combat. His base stats are not good. Admittedly, he has like low speed, but then again, enemies don't normally have the suit. So it's not the end of the world that his speed is low, just that it means that he can't really double much himself. But at least he uses swords. Swords are the best weapon type, so he's got that good, I guess. He also comes with a skill Vantage. This one is familiar, and I believe it works kind of similar to other games. But yeah, it says user will always strike first in a pinch. If you have below half HP, you always go first. And also, it negates a cost, which is kind of a weird thing that it does, but yeah, that's something that Vantage does. What's cool about the fact that how Vantage works is that it always works in the arena, because it works in an arena most of the time, because yeah, if you lose in the arena, you don't die, you go back to 1 HP. So then that's on the half HP, Vantage will activate, which is kind of important for some things later. But anyway, he has B-rank sword, so it actually means he can use the Breeze sword, which is actually a good weapon for him. It's a good weapon for everyone, but it might actually allow him to kill things. So yeah, Arden, he's not a great unit, but he's not impossible to use, like he might appear on first glance. If you do give him the right equipment, he'll do something. It's just that you may not want to use him too much at the beginning of match, when you have a time-sensitive objective to go to. Because yeah, if you're trying to use him with his low movement, you'll kind of probably struggle to get to that time-sensitive objective, so yeah. Oh boy, that was a lot of information. So yeah, finally we're going to be getting to the gameplay. Now they've done that, so yeah, let's see. So I kind of still gonna attack this. But yeah, Alec and Noish can also, so yeah. Let me see, because we also have this here, but I think I might have Alec and Noish deal with them. This actually is a different enemy, a brigand. It destroys villages, as you'd expect. These are barbarians, they're not that special, they're axe units, that's really it. So yeah, let's see. So we can go there with Alec, and we can go here with Noish. But yeah, what I'm gonna probably do is, I'm gonna kill this guy with Sigurd. With the steel sword. Does he one round? Yeah, he does. But yeah, that's another thing of this game too. Because this is an older Fire Emblem game, you need to basically calculate, you need to calculate everything on your own, basically, so yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna have Alec and Noish maybe work on that, brigand. And actually, I will bring Arden along, because it's nice to have at least a little bit of a helping hand. And yeah, he even walks slowly too, because yeah, he has 4 speed, so yeah. That's kind of funny. But anyway, Sigurd, what I'm gonna mainly do with him, I think I'm gonna have him, try to get to here, as quickly as possible. He will get some backup to be able to do that, because yeah, there's actually quite a lot of enemies. But yeah, I should mention a few other things too about this game. I mentioned that swords are the best weapons in the game. Here's why. They don't weigh anything, and they're still just as strong as other weapons. Actually no. It's just that, yeah, they have just low weight. Lances are better because they have, or... I won't say they're better, but yeah, they're the middle weapon because they do still weigh a lot, but they don't weigh as much as axes. But yeah, it's just that, yeah, swords, especially in this map where we're fighting mostly axe units, and there is a weapon track in this game. This is the first game to have it. It's 20 hit and avoid, so it's actually quite a big deal in this game. So yeah, a lot of game mechanics we can go over in this part, but yeah. Like I said, this game's kind of a revolution for the series, so yeah. And yeah, because they weigh nothing, you're basically guaranteed to double if you have a sword against most enemies that don't use swords. And yeah, there's something similar with magic too. Magic has a sword equivalent in terms of weight, and yeah, that's the best magic type in the game, so yeah. Alright, let's end turn now. And over here, you cursed seriously haven't used this puny castle yet? Unless the law of you. Out of my way, I'll do it myself. So unfortunately this is happening. You, not bad for being here all on your lonesome, but I've had enough of your struggling. And he crits. Now, funny thing, he can't normally crit because he doesn't even have the critical skill. Ugh, milady, forgive me. And with this out. Medea, well, looks like we have quite the gem here. And Jumbi's princess to boot. You're coming home with me, dearie. Listen up, DeMarchio, I'm heading back. You and Jared are in charge. Yes sir. Ha, relax, won't be long. I'll be bringing King Babe Slot along for the fun. When I do, all of Groundvale's our oyster. Even Belhala ought to be easy pickings. Oh, I didn't read that last one. The kingdom's all ours, boy. Leave it to us, sir. And yeah, he's gonna leave. Oi, quit your dawdling. We don't have all day, you know. This is kinda cool because it also shows off, like, how this mat's gonna go. Anyway, cut the bridge. I have none of those Granville worms crossing over here. Yes, sir. Now we don't have a bridge anymore. Oi, Jared, I'm going back to Martha for now. You're in charge of the border. Stay sharp and clear. Yes, sir, but your lordship, who's that dame that you have? The spores of war, my boy. She's come out to Martha to marry me. What do you think? A real keeper, eh? I'll say, just look as making me mouthwater. Back off, this one's mine. You'll have your pickable of Granville once it's done here. Keep it in your pants so long, yeah. What animals, gods above, I implore you, bestow upon these men a hint of human decency. Oi, why are you mumbling about that? We're out of here. No dulling you here. Yeah, the plans of this game are kind of interesting, to say the least. Go up, boys. Our next stop's Chalfie. Don't forget to milk the verges for they got. And yeah, he takes over. And yeah, I should mention, yeah, the music in this game, I really like it. Because yeah, Verdane's enemy face theme is an iconic one. As you probably heard a little bit. And yeah, he is burning down the village. That one, we have something for that one, and yeah, same with that one. Basically, this first part of the map, I'm going to be dealing with the villagers, and then we'll deal with DiMaggio. That's the main plan. I always like to take care of those villagers first, but anyway, over here, it looks like we made a time lapse. And by the look of it, Sigurd's staring down the entire Verdane army with just a handful of men. They'll be glad for the help, but geez, Azel, I can't believe I let you drag me into yet another mess like this. With the war and Isaac going on, there's hardly anyone left to defend Granville. Sigurd's few knights are all we have, and they're out here risking their lives on behalf of the entire country. I couldn't just leave them to die. Heh, we both know there's more to it than that. Come on, Azel, what's the real reason we're here? I have no idea what you mean. It's that lady Idina Junkbei, isn't it? Come on, everyone knows you like her. You just came for her sake, didn't you? No, of course not, you dolt. Really? Then why is your face beet red? Looks like someone's got a girlfriend. Lex, knock it off. Come on, we've wasted enough time. Haha, got it. Time to teach these Verdane thugs a lesson or two. Anyway, so now I'm gonna end this episode, I think. Next time, we're gonna be talking about more units, because we have Lex and Azel to talk about next. And yeah, we're gonna be continuing on with our main objective. My main objective so far is to get back these villagers from the brigands. So yeah, I'll see you guys again for that. And yeah, not much gameplay, but I need to explain a lot about this game, because well, there's a lot of different things in this game. So yeah. So I look forward to more Genealogy, and yeah. I can't wait, because yeah, this game, it's very special indeed. So I can't wait to show off more of it in the next part.